And away we go. It is the nightcap, Friday, May 27th, right here on BearcatJournal.com. Brought to you, as always, by our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken. Tomorrow's your last day for the holiday weekend if you're going to get some Galactic. Did you see Aaron who put a picture on BCJ?
No.
Our good buddy, BCJ legend, Killer V, with it looked like his dad, him, and his son yesterday all went to Galactic Fried Chicken. It's a family affair. They got 15% off. They had a great time. I believe tomorrow they're running a special where you get like $1 off beers. So Saturday, if you're free, make your way down to Galactic, get some chicken, get a little discount on some beers, and be ready to go. Get your holiday weekend rolling. All right, Aaron, let's do this.
Well,
so here's
but before we get into any basketball, biggest
Sure.
news of the day. I just saw on Twitter just now, Travis Kelce's girlfriend allegedly broke up with him because he kept making her pay half of everything in the 5 years they were dating, and that comes courtesy of Barstool Sports. And that's all we have to say about that. Go on about basketball.
No chance to be a gold digger.
I'm
not dealing with girls that are here for my money. You want to be here for me? Just pay for your dinner. No comment. The other thing to get to, baseball, unfortunately, season over, eliminated from the AAC tournament by Tulane, who they beat in the first round. But a loss today, back-to-back losses, and that's kind of the end.
Really bad back-to-back losses, too. 13-5 today.
Look, we talked about this at the beginning of the season. Like, we knew the offense was there. Like, this is the difficult part of baseball is lining up when you have a year like this where the offense is loaded and having the pitching to go with it to make it, worthwhile. And they just the pitching was young. They had a bunch of guys that they're trying to get their feet wet, and the pitching should be, substantially better next year, but the offense will probably
fall off a little,
take a little bit of a step back. So a solid season by Coach Googs. I just think it was one of those years where, your strength didn't line up with your weakness.
Yeah, they finished 24-31 overall, 12-12 in conference. A lot of peaks and valleys this season.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get to some juicy basketball nuggets that I have I put on the board and on Twitter today for the most part. As I was that's the one part that's nice about these AAU trips, right? Is I just get to be in the car driving. Right.
Sure.
So I got to make phone calls. You got a chance to kind of, get set up for the weekend as I'm calling around and getting a bunch of information on who's playing with who's where, what's going on. I think the biggest thing the biggest piece of information I got today was now top 60 big man on 24/7, Arrington Page, who is a AAU teammate of Isaiah Collier, and a kid that I loved back in the evaluation period when I saw him at the end of April. Official visit to Cincinnati starting Monday. That's big. This is
literally.
This is a kid that, man, the sky is the limit for. Because when you watch him, you can tell big men need longer to develop than guards, right? Because they're 6'11" and not 6'2", right?
Yeah, not filled out yet, generally, either.
You watch him and you think, man, he's just scratching the surface. And then you look down at the end of the game and he has 21 points and 12 rebounds. And you're like,
he figures it out.
That
quiet, nothing like a quiet double-double, right?
Right. A quiet 20-point double-double, right? Like, now is some of that because Isaiah Collier is his point guard? Absolutely. Like, I talked to a source today that said Collier was the best point guard at USA basketball tryouts. And that includes a point guard going to Duke, a point guard going to North Carolina. Like,
Color me shocked.
That's what he keeps doing. Every time he shows up in the gym, everybody walks out going, that's the best point guard I've seen. We'll get to that. But Page, official visit, and this will be classified as a junior year official visit because
Nice.
that calendar doesn't reset until August.
That's great.
So there will be a possibility, and this is not to say it's going to happen, but there will at least be the possibility of if the two sides desire another official visit after you get past that window, another official visit will be a senior year official visit will be possible. He blocks shots, he rebounds in and out of area, he runs the floor, he's excellent in the pick and roll. I'm not going to say he can shoot the three. I am going to say I've seen him make a three. I've only seen him take one. So he's one for one.
At the end of the day, I don't know how heavily reliant you want to be. Sure, you love it if a guy can step out beyond the arc.
You would like to have the ability to pick and pop along with pick and roll.
Sure. However, I don't think that needs to be anything that.
Well, the thing that he's a rim
protector.
Like, he's going to be a guy that's going to block shots. That's going to be a weak side. Like, he's going to defensively give you a lot, and then offensively rim run. He's got a nice little baby hook.
Prior to this past season, though, that's been the one thing that people have griped about not having. So, of course, if you have an opportunity to grab, also, I mean, the transfer portal is not heavy in rim protection.
Right.
Most people those guys retain their rim protectors.
Right.
So, yeah, if you got an opportunity to grab a kid while he's young and, again, ahead of the crowd who's, this is a guy we should be noticing. Cincinnati's been on him for a while now. So it's just fascinating to me how Cincinnati has set their sights so early on the guys that they want, and it's looking good for them right now.
Yeah. Some of the other stuff, like I said, Wes was in Dallas.
What's he doing there, Chad?
USA basketball tryouts. We're in Dallas. That's the nice part is coaches are allowed to go to USA basketball stuff because it's USA basketball. And if it just so happens you have a couple kids there you're recruiting, there are three. I think that Cincinnati is at least in the stratosphere with.
Okay.
One being Isaiah Collier.
Sure.
One being, Dillinger. Rob, I think.
I was really hoping you weren't going to say Jizzle James because how do you forget that name?
No, I'm forgetting his first name. Dillinger from Oklahoma. Cincinnati is working to get involved and trying to make a push there. He's a top 40 type kid. And then Xavier Booker, who's from Indiana, a guy that, Mike Roberts has been around for a while now and is on quite the glow up as he went from 91 in the country to 4.
Oh.
Booker's fascinating to me because I've talked to some people that know the situation, that know the kid's game, and they feel like he's just not a Big Ten big man. I know I've mentioned this before, but he's not a post up, throw me the ball. He's not that guy. He's a rim runner. He can shoot the three really well. He's a lefty. He's excellent in pick and pop, excellent in pick and roll. He can block shots. His game has come a long way over the past couple years. So we'll see, but good to have Wes be down there and have the ability to get to take a look at those guys. And then the other kind of big basketball news, all five of the six newcomers are good to go. The only one that's not is Daniel Skillings, and that's not for any reason other than his high school doesn't graduate until the second week of June. And per NCAA rules, you're not allowed to go to your college until you've graduated high school.
Good to go as in, like, are they all on campus or?
Good to go.
Good to go.
5 on campus, ready for June is the official start of summer workouts. And from my understanding, everybody but Daniel Skillings is good to go. And the only reason Daniel Skillings isn't good to go is because he's got to wait another 12 days before he graduates and moves to Cincinnati.
For those of you keeping score, you do the math.
So that's this team's going to get. Think about how rare this is after the past 3 years of what
the whole team's together in at the end of May, early June. That's crazy.
They're going to get a full summer with Mike Rayfelt. They're going to get a full summer in the gym with the staff. They're going to get a full summer of open gym to get up and down with the guys.
Who are you most excited to see work with Rayfelt?
Josh Reed.
For me, I think it's Sage.
Yeah, I think Sage is a long-term.
Sure, but I'm just excited to see him get his hand.
But if you've looked at him lately, if you saw his picture, he's put some pictures on Instagram of graduation and he's
starting to fill out.
He's been eating a lot of Dine-In Hawaiian.
Good. And I mean the food, not that he's eating. It's just all good.
So the thing with Josh for me is, man, I think Josh's body is already close. He's built like you're supposed to be built as a college basketball player.
So for those who haven't seen Josh Reed, who would you compare him to as somebody who's come through the program? No, not gonna compare him just physically.
No,
not game wise, but just.
I don't know that there's a great comparison.
Okay,
and he's 6'6", 6'7". Closer to 6'7". He has a 7'1" wingspan.
It's gigantic.
He's got broad shoulders. He can handle the ball. He's got a really, really effective spin move as he gets into the lane. He can shoot the three. He's a 75, 80% free throw shooter. I don't know. I really don't know who would be a great comparison for him. Because I think initially he's best suited as a 4. But I think as you get into the Big 12, if you can get a 6'7" kid with a 7'1" wingspan that can handle the ball, shoot, put it on the floor, and get to the free throw line to play the 3 for you and not be this is always the hard part for me to explain to people when I talk about those combo forwards, right? Gary Clark, I always talked about, you play him at the 4 because his mismatch at the 4 is significant. If you play him at the 3 with guys that are similar size, right, and similar length and a little bit more offensive skill, you're not properly taking advantage of his ability. With Josh, I think that's true the day he walks in the door. But I think if his game develops like I think it could, I think he could be a big 6'7" 3.
Just hard to get an idea. And this is the last picture, or the picture that came up when I Google image.
But I mean, look, you can see the shoulders. He's not a frail.
No, he's not small.
Skinny kid. So the reason I think this offseason I'm most excited to see him with Mike is because I think Mike can do a lot of work on him in a short window, right? I think you give Mike 2 months with that kid, and we're going to look at him in September and go, the hell just happened?
We ready.
Right? A big day for basketball information. as you get all of it there. And then tomorrow I'll be cracking through the EYBL. I've been sitting here tonight in the hotel down in Louisville, looking at the schedule and trying to figure out exactly what my plan is. I'll be here all day Saturday, 9. I think the first game's at 9:30 tomorrow, straight through until probably late afternoon, early evening Sunday, and then have to get home and do some family stuff Sunday night. And then on the big one Monday night, they're giving me the keys to the big car on Monday night, Aaron. So we got to figure out what we're going to do with the BBP.
Right.
We figure out what we're going to do with the BBP. Maybe I'll just turn the I'll take my laptop, I'll turn the camera on, and you guys can have me in the background, like the video of me doing my WLW show.
What time are you on air?
6 to 9.
Oh, we'll just make Brent stay up late.
Fine with me. I don't care. You know I don't sleep.
We'll make Brent stay up late.
You know I don't sleep. When's the last time you ever heard of me sleeping?
Kids are out of school. They don't have to worry.
He doesn't have kids.
I'm saying kids will be here.
Kids, yeah.
They're out of school though, so I don't have to worry about this one going to bed and all that. So
I'll start at 10. I don't care.
We'll be good to go.
I don't care. I'll start at 10.
If you're listening, Brent, take a nap. Sunday. Get ready.
All right, man. That's going to wrap it up. He's Aaron Smith. I'm Chad Brendel. This is The Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!